Hi, I'm Philip Mariscal, Manager of Validation and Verification Programs at the ANSI National Accreditation Board, or ANAB. I'm feeling honored today to talk to you a little bit about how ANAB is addressing climate change. Climate change is the defining challenge of our time, and countries have committed to lowering emissions to meet this challenge head on. As they do, they're going to need standards, particularly ISO standards, to support the new environmental regulations these initiatives bring about. Here in Washington, D.C., the ANSI National Accreditation Board, a wholly owned subsidiary of ANSI, the American National Standards Institute, uses ISO standards such as ISO 1465, developed by TC 207, to support systems that verify the accuracy of emissions reductions claims. These standards set requirements VVBs must meet in areas such as sector competence and impartiality. ANAB employs rigorous oversight of VVBs, and most greenhouse gas disclosure programs incorporate ANAB oversight into their program requirements. The ISO standards to which ANAB accredits ensure that VVBs undertake consistent auditing practices, and these standards provide a base upon which emission disclosure programs build their own requirements. At their most basic level, these standards lay out the concept of a materiality threshold. Essentially, this is the amount of acceptable errors in calculating emissions. Now, all this recognition that ANAB's accreditation brings certainly brings us significant prestige. However, ANAB assessors also must become familiar with the ever-changing requirements of these many programs that recognize ANAB accreditation. And to facilitate this, we foster communication with these programs. We allow their representatives to serve on our accreditation committee. We also share feedback from audits with these partners to ensure that VVB performance remains high, and also to ensure the credibility of emissions claims. The world community will require such credibility in sharing progress on the emissions reductions goals they committed to. As best practices in auditing continue developing, it's important that ISO connect with emissions programs and accreditation bodies like ANAB. That way, they can share feedback on ways to measure, report, and verify emissions. Getting this kind of diverse input can only enhance the strength of environmental management standards. Now, we all know the tools necessary to combat climate change. They're going to include a lot more than standards and auditing. However, with the growing number of new environmental standards, now is the time for us to work together. What will you do to help facilitate the development and implementation of environmental management standards at ISO?